mix, pork and beans with stuff. And... hello. Hello again, YouTube. On this video, we're going to be doing issue 27 of the Fast and Furious build, the legendary Dodge Charger RT from the movie. And you still eating those burritos and stuff? Yeah, they kind of give you gas, right? I haven't had gas in a couple of days. But anyway, I guess we'll get right to it. Okay, and this is issue 27, and we'll go through it real quick before we get to the build. Show a couple of the pictures and things like that in the books. I have not read any of the articles, so I can't tell you what it says right now. And I'm just wondering, if you want to know what some of this stuff is, if you want me to, let's say after the model is finished, and you want me to read some of this stuff, and I can basically give you a detail, like as a final video or a closure, like after the video, or after the model is complete, that maybe I can do an ending video that will tell you what all this stuff says in each book. It's just a thought, but I'm not sure if I'm going to actually do that or not. So I mean, if y'all want something like it, if enough people want to give me a thumbs up on that, and if I get enough subscribers, then maybe I might actually do a separate video at the very end when the model's complete, and I'll tell you what each one of these little things say in the magazines. I'll go back through each one of them if I get enough subscribers, and if I get enough thumbs up, then we'll look into that. But until then, and it's just an afterthought, so for now. Okay, so in this kit, it looks like it's going to have some small parts and stuff like that. I did look through the book before the video, and it's going to be some might be some time consuming steps, because we get to bring part of the frame back out that has the engine attached to it, and the fenders and the firewall and stuff, that kind of thing. We get to put those things together. In this kit, we're going to be using AM screws, CM screws, IM screws, and NM screws in this kit. And as I was saying, we get to add some stuff to the fenders, and then we get to actually join the parts together, which is going to be interesting. And a lot of screws, and we get to attach some hoses and power or cables, things like that. Looks like the brake lines get attached finally, and they want us to take the front wheels off. But I'm not sure exactly. I think I know why. Yep. So yeah, when it gets done, it'll be like this, and we'll have two smaller pieces left over. I did read this part of it here. It does say something about we've got to use these little pieces in stage 30, which I do have that stage in this shipment. So it'll be the fourth, probably, depending on how long the other videos are. I may combine some of them together, or I might just lengthen them out a little. But anyway, here's some more stuff on the magazine, which I have not looked through yet. Looks like an engine block. Something talking about geometry and valve setting, all that stuff like that. So, looks like valve seats and things. Okay, now this part. There isn't a whole lot of parts in the kit, but the steps look like there's quite a few steps to join two big giant pieces together to make a big portion of the car. So that part's going to take a little bit of time. So I guess we better get to it so we don't run out of stuff or space on the cell phone. Okay, in this segment, or they call 27.1 step, is we get to attach the windshield washer wiper. That's all tongue-tied. The windshield wiper motor. They call it a windscreen motor, but it's a windshield wiper motor. And it's only going to go one way. As you see, there is a locating pin on the back of it that goes with this hole on that. Now all we gotta do is put it on there, and it's gonna be held in place with 2 CM screws. Just kind of put that in there like that, and then we'll attach 2 CM screws. Okay. It's tight. Alright, the next section, they want us to put the voltage regulator and just press it into these 2 holes here. And it's got 2 locating pins here and here. It doesn't matter which way this goes, it looks like it's the same either way around. There's nothing to dictate whether it goes this way or this way, so it can go any way you want to put it. So this says push in. Let's press just like that. Be sure it's secure. Yeah, that's it. Next step. Okay, in this step they just want us to attach the positive battery cable over to the voltage regulator that we just put on the firewall. So I don't know if I can. This is the one that I got a wire inside of it that actually makes it stiffer, and I'm starting to wonder if it was a good idea. But thinking about it now, I don't know. But maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But we're gonna see what we can do about that. So a little bit of that wire is starting to protrude a little bit through that hole, which might be a bad thing. I don't know. I may have to, well, if that wire is protruding in there, it might be causing a problem. So that's why I said it might have been a mistake putting that wire in there. Now if we can get this to go where I want it to go, which is the whole point of putting that wire in there in the first place. Alright, so the battery cable will probably be better going down here like that. And it seems like it'll be okay just like that. So, alright, next step. In this section, they want us to put in reinforcement plates. You got one for the driver's side and one for the passenger side. Now they are labeled there with an L, and the other one is labeled with an R. As you can see here, there's an R and an L. Okay, this is basically the driver's side. And in case you want to know, on the side right here, it has a R. If you remember on the fender, it has an L on it. So you match the L here with that L. So this is a reinforcement panel or plate, and they want us to attach it. But there are 2 little spots here, and they want them to be held together with 2 AM screws. And of course you want to use 3-in-1 oil on the threads, so it makes it easier for the screw to go in. It also helps to keep the screw from cross-threading and keeps it from stripping, especially if it's going in a little tight like that. You don't know if it's gonna strip or anything, so you don't want it to. we do the same thing on the other side. Yeah, this is marked with an R on this side, and this part also says R on the back. And this one will go this way, and you notice a little notch right here. It goes towards the front of the fender, because this is the back of the fender, like where the firewall is, and this is the passenger and driver side. So you have it going just like that, and I want to put 3-in-1 oil on it since it is going in the metal. Okay, the next step. Alright, in this section, it wants to take this assembly, and we finally get to attach it to the chassis. Now there's a hole here in the firewall for the steering column. Now we also got to make sure that we don't crimp these or pinch these lines. We got to kind of get this lined up so it will set in place. So we got the steering column going through. Trying to line this up so it'll go together. Okay, I think you're supposed to do the back end first. Maybe. Okay. Just gotta get the pins to line up with the hole. Before we actually get to screw them together, and we gotta. Okay. And I gotta check and see before I start screwing anything together to make sure there's nothing pinching anywhere. I think the brake line on that side's okay. Actually, it might be pinching a little on one side here. Yeah, may have to make sure that goes on the inside. Tweezers. Make sure brake lines are not being pinched. Looks like they're okay. Well, it's a tight squeeze in there. Everything looks okay so far. Brake line's not being pinched anywhere. Okay. Now the next part they want us to do, after doing that, they want us to flip this thing over very carefully as not to do any damage or anything. Let me flip this over off camera so I don't mess something up, and I'll be right back. Okay. Almost dropped it, so it's okay. So now we got 4 screws we have to put in, 4 AM screws. Now this one's already got lube on it, and one goes in this hole, one goes in that hole, and the same on the other side. So I'll start this on this side first. Get it started, and then I'll tighten them all up. Okay. Of course, I gotta hold the fender. I need a bigger workspace. It looks like I may have to start doing this on the kitchen table if it gets too much bigger. Actually, I thought of another spot I could probably do. I could probably get a TV tray. If my desk gets too small for this model, I can use a TV tray and set it up in such a way where I can still use my light and have it connected like I have now, and be able to do what I'm doing now, just in a different spot. So that may be something I'll be doing in the future videos if this thing is getting any bigger. Which again, it's definitely getting bigger than my desk. So and I probably should have when I was building my desk, I probably should have got a bigger tabletop, but I thought about that. You're probably thinking that when I was putting this desk together, as I said, it's like 2 IKEA drawers that you use on either side for storage, and then it's 2 IKEA drawers for storage, but it also acts as legs to hold the tabletop up, or in this case, any kind of top you want to use as your desk. In this case, I got restaurant tables. They were cheap, and I was able to get 2 of them on sale when I first got them. But as I said, they're restaurant tables, so I couldn't get them any bigger. I kind of may have to add on to this desk so I can actually get the printer off the top of my desk, because it's taking up space that I surely do need for doing stuff like this. So that may be coming in a future project pretty soon, where I can actually put a little platform or something that goes between my desk and my wife's desk, which are sitting next to each other, and the desks are basically identical. Of course, the computers are not. So, but yeah. But anyway, okay, there's that part. Now, okay, if I can get that to stay put. Okay. Next step. Okay. On this step, they want us to take the alternator wire. If you remember from our previous step, or several previous steps, that we had this wire going from the alternator that finally gets connected to the firewall. So you get to connect it right here to the voltage regulator. So provided it will slide on there and not give me any problems. Looks like I'm going to try to get that slide back on. There we go. Now, since this has a metal wire in it, I can manipulate it just a little bit, but I think that looks okay like that. Don't you think? Because it's a stiffer wire. So the battery cable is kind of running like that beside the valve cover, which I think will be fine. And we may want to adjust that a little bit later. And then we got the wire going from the voltage regulator to the alternator, which looks like it's okay. I think it'll be fine that way. I'll look it over later and I'll make some final adjustments on it. On the next little part, they want us to connect. Now this might be a little harder, but they want us to, if you remember the two hoses that we left floating around inside the engine bay right here, there's two brake lines right here. Well, they want us to connect them to the master cylinder over here. And I think that's going to be a little bit harder than it looks. They're just kind of floating down there. That's going to be a little bit difficult to, yeah. I may have to do this off camera and then come back after I got it on there. But basically, I'm taking the brake lines that are still floating beside the motor, and we got to attach them here. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I will show you what it looks like after. Okay, that was a little bit of a pain to get that in there, but as you can see now, it's in there. It's about the best way I can do it. It looks sort of like the picture. It's close, so it's about as close as I can get with the brake lines right here. Alright, the next part they want us to do is we get to take the wheels off. I'm not sure exactly what. I kind of know, but then at the same time I don't. So I'm gonna take the wheels off real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, on this step, I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna film this, because I'm gonna have to have both hands or something to hold this up. But basically what they're saying is they want us to put in this hole, and then in that hole there they want us to put 2 AM screws, and then in this hole it's got this they call it an anchor bolt that looks like this, and it is labeled with R, which goes on the right side of the car, and they want that to go in here, but it looks like part of it actually goes underneath this arm, so you have to push it up, kind of like pull it up on it, and then it'll actually go in. Now I'm going to be doing this kind of like for, by feel, because I can't see what I'm doing. I don't know if I can even film this. I'm going to try. So I'm going to do my best on this. I just can't seem to get the right angle on this. I've tried to, I don't know if I can film it or not, but I'm going to try. So basically you're just screwing the fenders together. I'm going to start it, and then I'll tighten them up after. Okay, I'll come back after I get both of these screws tightened and put in, and then I'll, when I get to the part where I have to put that little part on this, and I'll come back. Okay. I'm not having a pleasant time with this, but anyway, a little piece right here. Basically, you have to lift up the suspension by pushing here and raising it up in order to get that in there. Now, this piece and the screw, you have to kind of put them in there together. It's almost like you need an extra helping hand. But anyway, I've got the screw started, I just ain't got it in all the way. Once you get it started. Now you want to kind of push up on the suspension a little bit while you're doing this. Now this is not easy because that spring is under tension, so you kind of have to get that in there underneath that suspension right there. So I'm gonna finish tightening this up, and then I'm gonna put the wheel back on, and then I'm gonna get to the other side. So I'll get right to that and be right back. Okay, now we're on the driver's side of the car, and they want us to use this anchor bolt again like we did on the passenger side. Now it's also labeled with an L. Well, I don't think you can see that because of the thing. Just believe me, it's on there. Now we have to push this thing up, and we kind of got to squeeze this in there where it goes underneath this arm. So we're going to have to really squeeze, and the camera is right over my arm, so it's going to shake. So they want us to push up on it like this, and he wants to slip this in there, and it is not easy because it has got some tension on it. And I'm probably going to have to do this off camera like I did the other one, but I will try to get this on here the best way I can. If I can't, which is looking like it's the case, and I may have to come back and after I get it on. Alright, one more try off on camera, and if I can't get it, then I'm going to do it off camera. So I done scratched it already. That's okay. You ain't gonna really see it. But basically, I just want you to push. Try to get it up there as high as you can get it, and then stick that in there. And I'm gonna have to do it off camera. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, with a little bit of prodding and everything, and some words I don't want to share on here, I finally got it on. So we finally get to tighten this thing up. Now again, I'm not left-handed, so it's a little bit more of a struggle for my left hand to get this on here. But I'm using my right hand because that's my stronger hand. Okay. Let me check that with the other hand. Okay, it's in there. Alright. Now, it wants to attach 2 AM screws in the top hole. In case you can't see. Okay, they want us to put an AM screw here, and an AM screw here, and then he wants to put a CM screw here and a CM screw there. So when I get those in, I'll come right back. Okay, this is what it's looking like. We got that screw in, it's an NM screw, and then we got a CM screw, and then no, excuse me, AM and AM screw, and a CM screw and a CM screw. So now we get to put the wheels and tires back on. So the fun part began. Alright, when I get the wheels and tires put back on, I'll come back. Okay, there we go. But that's what we're looking at now. It's, you know, starting to look really good now. It's coming together. The part that's, you know, as I said, we still got, I don't know how many more kits there are before the kit or actual model is complete. But it looks like it's gonna be a cool thing. But again, I'm running out of space up here, so I may have to use a TV tray or something in the near future. If it gets bigger than my spot here that I'm working on, I'm gonna have to gonna have to. So, but anyway, that completes this kit. Okay, and for this, that completes issue 27 of the Fast and Furious Build Your Own Dodge Charger, or Legendary Dodge Charger RT. So, yeah, I'm kind of liking it, but that was a little bit of a frustrating stage. It was a little hard, but it's not discouraging me from wanting to continue the build. I still want to finish the build, the model. So, yeah, that was, like I said, it was a little difficult, and I did what I could on camera. Some angles and stuff is a little difficult to try to film some of it, so I tried to do what I could, best I could get. So, anyway. You still eating brain burritos, or kind of gives you, might pass gas on me. Yeah. Anyway, I guess I could nickname you, what, the farting cowboy or something? You like beans, right? Okay. Yeah, I think everybody does. What's the old saying? Beans, they're good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. Something like that. Anyway, it's a little late, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off. So, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Oh, before I finish that statement, if you are interested in getting your own Fast and Furious model, you're watching this and wanting to know where to get the kit from, if you don't already know, that it is from Fanhome, and I will give you a link down here below the video somewhere, and I will also put it down in the description where it'll take you right to the website. And if you want to sign up and get your own Fast and Furious charger and start building your own, and you'll have a link to go do that and start your subscription. Now, it will probably take you about 2 years, maybe a little longer, to complete your model. But as you can see from what I'm doing in my model, it looks really wild. It looks really good. It does have some challenging points in it, but that's all part of the fun, right? Okay. So as I was saying, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe, it helps me out. The more subscribers I can get, the better I can do, with the content on the channel. It also, maybe one day I can monetize the videos, that kind of thing. So it helps me out a lot if you can subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit the notification bell beside of it, and it'll let you know when I upload a brand new video or when I publish one. And it also tells YouTube that you like this type of content, so that way you'll be able to see other creators that do models like this. So yeah. So I'm gonna go now before our farting cowboy decides he's gonna sneak us out of this place. Okay, bye. Yeah, could you wait until after I cut the camera? Okay, never mind. Bye. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, I like that one. No, bye.